All right, so today we're diving into something I guarantee most people don't think about a whole lot. In metal rolling, like right now maybe you have a soda can nearby,
Yeah.
or say you're driving to work. Ever stop to think about how that metal got to be so smooth and the exact right thickness?
Yeah, it really is amazing how much we just take for granted. Behind all those everyday objects is this whole hidden world of like industrial artistry. That's where metal rolling mill operators come in.
Metal rolling mill operators. Okay, that sounds kind of straightforward, but something tells me there's more to it than it seems.
Oh, way more. They're like the unsung heroes. They take raw metal all clunky and rough and transform it into those precise sheets and bars that are used in everything. I mean, you've got cars, buildings, you name it.
I'm picturing it now. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not exactly arts and crafts time then, is it?
Yeah.
This metal rolling mill operator career guide you sent over talks about metal properties and like precise temperatures. It's making me think of baking, actually.
You're getting warmer. Think of it like a baker. They need to know exactly how the dough is going to react to the heat and how long to bake it, right? Well, these operators, they need that same deep knowledge, but about metal. Like, just a few degrees off in temperature and you can totally ruin a batch of steel. Makes it brittle.
Whoa, really? Had no idea it was such a fine line. Makes sense why this guide stresses precision and expertise so much. So are they like the master chefs of the metal world or something? Got to make sure every batch is perfect?
Exactly. And it's not even just about heat. These guys, they got to control the rolling process super precisely to get what's called homogeneity.
Hold it. Homogeneity. Okay, that one sounds straight out of science
Well,
class. What's that mean in this context?
basically, it's about how even the metal's structure is all the way through. You know how a dented can, it's way more likely to burst.
Yeah, definitely seen that happen.
That's because the dent, it creates a weak spot, right? So it's not homogeneous anymore. Metal rolling mill operators, they make sure every single inch of that metal is just as strong as the rest. Makes it safe and durable.
So basically, next time I see those perfectly smooth sheets of metal at a construction site, gotta thank a metal rolling mill operator for making sure they don't just crumple, huh?
You got it. And to get that level of consistency, they use some seriously intense equipment too.
You talking about those, what are they called, rolling mills from the guide?
Those are the ones, imagine like massive rollers that can flatten metal like you wouldn't believe. We're talking tons of force, carefully adjusted to shape the metal to the exact specs.
Man, it's like brute strength meets, like delicate precision or something.
Yeah.
And they're reading blueprints on top of all that. I saw something about specialized gauges, too.
You bet. It's a real mental workout on top of the physical demands. They got to decode those blueprints, then use those gauges to guarantee each piece of metal is exactly what it needs to be. It's this wild combo of like hands-on skill and sharp thinking.
Totally. And like with any skilled trade, it's not like you just learn the one thing and you're set, right? This career stages section, it really shows how much you can grow in this line of work.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. A metal rolling mill operator, their career, it's like this climb. Each level, you get more experience, more expertise.
Okay, so walk me through it. Someone just starting out in this field. What are they actually doing day to day?
So entry level, it's all about like absorbing everything, right? Picture someone brand new, first day, eager to learn. They'd be helping the experienced operators, prepping the metal, getting the feel for the machines, all that.
So kind of like when you see those culinary shows and they've got the new chefs just chopping veggies for weeks before they can touch a stove. It's all about those fundamentals.
100%. Then, as they get the hang of things, they move up, become a junior operator. This is where they get more responsibility, running the simpler rolling mills, keeping an eye on the process, even troubleshooting if something small goes wrong.
Training wheels are off at that point.
Sort of, yeah. The guide actually mentions this junior operator who caught a roller that was out of whack, could have messed up a whole batch of aluminum if they hadn't noticed, saved the company a ton of hassle just by being observant.
Wow, good catch. All right, so what's it take to get to that senior level then?
It's a mix of things, really. Obviously, the experience is huge, knowing the job inside and out, but also leadership. Senior operators, they're overseeing everything, managing teams, handling the really complex machinery. They got to work with the engineers, too, make sure everything's running smooth.
So they're not just metal rolling experts, they're like leaders, mentors, problem solvers, the whole package.
Right, and here's where it gets even cooler. Some senior operators, they get really specialized. Could be they become masters of a certain kind of metal, like, say, the titanium they use in airplanes. Or they might focus on a specific type of rolling mill, become the go-to expert for that machine.
Love that. It's like choosing your specialty, right?
Right.
Like in a video game, you level up your skills, become a total pro in one area. So even within this one profession, there's tons of room to grow, find your niche.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, let's be real. Not everyone listening is going to go be a metal rolling mill operator. Is there anything in all this for those of us in totally different fields?
That's what I find so fascinating about this stuff. Even if you never set foot in a metal rolling mill, the skills these folks develop, they've got some serious transferable value.
Okay, now you've got my attention. Tell me more.
Think about the problem solving we were just talking about. Metal rolling mill operators, they're always troubleshooting, figuring out what's up, finding solutions. That kind of thinking, being able to analyze and adapt, that's huge no matter what you do.
Totally. It's like that story we were talking about before with the junior operator spotting that messed up roller. That kind of sharp eye and problem solving, that's useful everywhere.
Exactly. Or think about how adaptable they gotta be. This whole field, it's always changing, new tech, new ways of doing things. Operators gotta keep up or they get left behind. That whole idea of learning new stuff, being open to change, that's crucial these days, no matter what your job
It's
is.
like they're masters of rolling with the punches.
Yeah.
Adaptability 101.
Right. And we can't forget about that attention to detail. Precision is everything for a metal rolling mill operator. They got to make sure the quality is top notch. And those skills, they're like gold in fields like, research, editing, anything where being super precise matters.
So we've got this whole hidden skill set, right? Things we might think are only for this one specific trade, but actually they apply to tons of stuff, like a secret code for success, but anyone can learn it.
That's it. When you understand what it takes to succeed in a field like metal rolling, you start to see how those skills could help you in your own work, even if it seems totally different. It's all about making those unexpected connections.
Speaking of connecting the dots, let's switch gears for a sec. Remember how we were talking about career paths and what the future of work looks like? Well, this ties into AI and how we even find jobs these days. You shared some info about a platform called RoleCatcher, and I gotta say, this stuff is wild. It's like the ultimate job hunting cheat code.
It's kind of like that. Remember how we talked about those hidden skills, the ones that don't always jump out on a resume? That's where RoleCatcher comes in. It uses AI to actually understand those skills, even if they're buried in a job description. Then it matches them up with your experience.
So instead of just looking for the right keywords, it's actually like getting the meaning behind them.
Totally. Think of it as a translator for job postings almost. Like it can decode those subtle things that humans might miss. And get this, it can even help you rewrite your resume to really make those key skills shine.
Okay, now that is seriously cool. It's like having a resume expert and a career coach all in one. But how does it actually work, like on the tech side?
Yeah.
How does RoleCatcher use AI?
It all boils down to recognizing patterns. They've trained RoleCatcher's AI on like a massive amount of data, right? We're talking job descriptions, resumes, info on people who got hired, all that. So now it can see these connections between what you've done and what employers are looking for, even the connections we might miss.
So say someone was a metal rolling mill operator, right? Could RoleCatcher take those problem-solving skills, that adaptability, and say, hey, this could be a good fit for project management, even though they're not directly related?
Exactly. It sees those transferable skills, the ones we keep coming back to, and makes these connections that might not be obvious at first glance.
That changes everything, especially with so many jobs going automated. Oh, which reminds me, we got to talk about that Beat the Automated Recruiter section. It's awesome that RoleCatcher can make our resumes stand out, but what happens when it's a computer on the other end making the decisions?
That's where RoleCatcher gets even better. It's not just about getting you through the door. It preps you for the whole interview process, even the parts where you're interacting with AI.
Wait, for real? I can do a practice interview with an AI and get feedback. That sounds like something out of the future, man.
The future is now. You record yourself answering typical interview questions, and the AI looks at everything. How you speak, what you say, even your body language. Then, it gives you personalized tips on how to improve.
No way.
Yeah.
So it's not just what you say, it's how you say it too. Like having your own personal coach, but for job interviews.
Yeah.
This is seriously mind-blowing. I'll be honest, at first, this whole AI thing in hiring kind of freaked me out. But seeing how RoleCatcher is using it to help people, it's actually got me feeling hopeful.
That's the key, right? Technology, it's a tool. It's all about how we choose to use it. And in this case, it can make things more fair, give everyone a better chance to show what they're capable of.
Like you said before, knowledge is power.
Uh-huh.
The more we understand these systems, the better we can use them to get ahead. Man, this has been one wild ride. We started talking about the surprisingly complex world of metal rolling,
Mhm.
and somehow we ended up in the future of work with AI job hunting and everything. Just goes to show you, gotta love where curiosity takes you.
I'm with you on that. Makes you wonder what other everyday things or jobs we don't think about much, what kind of lessons are hidden in those? What can they teach us about the skills we need for whatever's next?
That's a question we can all ask ourselves. And hey, if anyone wants to check out RoleCatcher or learn more about anything we talked about today, you know the drill. All the links and info are in the show notes. Thanks for coming along in this deep dive, everyone. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and never be afraid to ask those what-if questions. You never know what amazing connections you might just stumble upon.